guys, 4 years later, 4 years later, the scene opens with a birthday party of Efe and Nose's kids. They were actually having a birthday party, and that was the first time bro was chopping money. Good money. Yeah, you could see in their dressing and all that's Charlie's Kawa. So at the birthday party, of course, all the friends they needed were there, and there was Obaz the boss. He arrived with his wife. Yeah, EDA followed, and then with his, other men who work for the company. So when they came, Obaz the boss saw, Efe. And when he sees him, he always call him brotherly. Yeah, he said, brotherly, how far, bro? So like they reconnected. How is the party going and all that? So EDA, Obaz the boss's wife went with Nusa. They went to catch up with friends, whereas Obaz the boss went with Efe and told him to join him on his personal boat. And at that time, like, Efe was concerned, bro, we have money, but you need to slow down with things, because if you're buying this, if you're buying that, people are going to talk. Where did the money come from? Because after 4 years we having money, like, it doesn't really make sense. So slow. But once the boss was like, no, we need to show them that Charlie, we get a money money is not a problem. So he followed him to the boat, and guys, I didn't expect the scene because it just came like that. Obaz the boss attacked Efe. He was strangling him, like he almost killed the guy. You would ask me why? Because someone from his team has told him that Efe was stealing from him. So Efe had to explain himself. And there was this particular guy who was in, Obaz's team. He didn't like Efe from the onset, because when Efe came, he came to take his position because he was close with the boss. But when Efe came, I said, no, connecting to us, so he was the one who did the choking, and it wasn't true. So the guy was explaining, oh, it's not like I took your money, bro, chill. I got the clients, but the money that we were expecting didn't come, and that's why you didn't get your cut. So when he explained, it's like, oh, brotherly, I knew it. I knew you cannot thief from me. You can't steal from me. And so he was like, I told you, brotherly, he can't steal from me. Brotherly, I'm sorry. And at that time, I was like, Efe, you need to think twice, because this guy, rumor can be cool. So imagine. So let's move to the other scene. Nosa and Edie were also connected, having a chat, and then Edie comes into the scene. Nosa, he calls the mother, and I was like, something has happened. They're like, talk. At that time, I was like, talk, what has happened? Tell us what has happened. Not knowing one of the kids was missing, and they didn't understand where could she be. So they went to the playground, they went here, they went to call the father, and Obaz the boss was like, where could he be? So they were searching, and then if it gets a message from an unknown number, and then the number, like, it actually led to gave a clue of where the child could be. So he just went to the kitchen. He was like, give me away. He just went to the freezer, opened it, and there was the child. I believe you're asking me who did that. And there is another introduction in the scene, who is called Teacher. Me, myself, I was even asking myself, is he a government teacher or a science teacher? Let's find out. So, Teacher comes into the scene, and he is the one who actually did that. Actually, he is also a guru in the fraudulent act. So he's more like Penny, or no, see much like he's been in the act since 80s, like since. So it's like anyone who comes into that business, that illegal business, pays some form of dues to him, and his cut is just 30%. Everybody is doing it, but Obaz the boss, he doesn't want to pay the dues. So that was why he was furious and he wanted to threaten them. He could actually kill the girl, but he told them that, no, this is a warning. You need to pay my cat. You need to come and pay the dues to the guru. So that was what happened. They had to rush the kid to the hospital. And at that time, if he was confused, because he didn't know about any teacher. So he went to Obos the boss, tell me what is happening. And then Obos the boss goes like, I know who did it. His teacher. Like, if he was confused, who is this teacher? Who is that? And so he cleared, like he brushed it off until he was leaving the, and let me highlight this point. Obos the boss, he's really concerned about like Effie and then the family, because when the child even got missing, he acted as though it was his child. He followed them to the hospital. Like, that was how far he went for Effie. Yeah, so on his way back to his house, he was sitting in the car and all like there was a shootout, and he managed to dodge, and that was a second attempt from teacher warning them, you need to pay my cats. He went to the house and was so furious. Like, at that instance, I was just expecting him to just calm down and pay the guy off, because you are earning money and that is a tradition. You cannot use one day to change a tradition. You're in the illegal business. He wants his cat. Pay it and save your life. I don't know why he was acting so stubborn. He went to the house and then he was just like, no, he has the man has crossed his line. And so he will show the man that he is a boss. And so Effie was confused, because now it is child, the next is a boss. Who is next? He needed answers, and so he decided to go to his friend and ask him, or his business partner, and ask him that, bro, what is going on? Who is attacking us? And that's why Obos the boss said that, okay, there is a teacher man that they need to pay their dues to. And he said, how much is it, bro? He said 30%. I say, that is 30%. 30%. Let's give it to him. Just give it to him. Obos the boss said, no. They've attacked you. They've attacked me. I'll show them pepper, so I won't pay. And the guy was even saying that, oh dear, you're 30%, me to your 20, to your 10. 30. Bro said no. And for him to even say that, because already he when the cash comes, he is earning much less out. And so for him to say that, okay, the lesser that I even earn, I'm willing to pay 20% out of it, bring 10%. Oh, boss the boss was stubborn like Nebuchadnezzar. And so that was what happened. Was Nebuchadnezzar stubborn like Pharaoh? Let me put it that way. Yeah. And so that was what happened, and he wasn't willing to pay, and he decided to plan an attack. That was the wrong move, because someone who has been in the industry before you came, you want to attack him. And guys, guess what? So it highlights, let me highlight teacher's scene. So teacher is, like I said, he is the guru, but aside that, he's a family man. He has 2 grandchildren. They love him a lot, and they were like, their daughter had come for them to spend some vacation. They were going, but their children needed some treat, and they decided to step out for an ice cream, have an ice cream outside. So they sat in fact, they were going to the car, and then the daughter stops teacher that he has like some message. So he was showing the message, and then he tells the bodyguard to send the kids into the car. So whilst the kids were in the car, he was outside talking to his daughter. And what I least expected happened. The car just blasted. The 2 children died. And at that point, you could see teacher's eyes. It was red. It has like, that was how serious it is. Like the daughter was like, what there? Everybody was quiet, shocked. And teacher said, you have crossed the line. You have done what nobody has done in years. Now I'll show you that I am the guru. So that got him angry. So all this while, remember I highlighted that when Effie was in the hospital, at the time that he was narrating to them that they are stealing his money, I mean when he was going to pay for the wife's bill, there was this inspector in the scene at the hospital too. So let me talk about her a little. So after she lost the husband, it really got to her, and she was an inspector. Because it really got to her, her mental health was affected. So she's been at home for 3 years, mourning the husband and then taking therapy so that she could get better and then go back to work. Now during the 3 years, she had a friend, and the friend had taken the position that she was at the time going to get. But because of the way things happen and she's been out of office, the friend took that position. So now she was more like a junior to the friend. So when she resumed work, when she went to the police station, like everybody was looking at her some way, but there was this one person called Onome who saw her, was so nice to her, and so like that was it. They were having all this conversation with Onome and all that. And then one day they were at the police station, and then there were a team of investigators who came at the police to the police station, and they were checking things, like they were researching about things. So Motoroy Mo, Inspector Mo, she is the woman who lost the husband. She's called Inspector Mo. So she observed what was going on and then asked Onome that what is happening. And that's where Onome said, haven't you heard about the monkey case? So she asked what is it about, and then she went like Onome said it's some group of people hiding under a mask and engaging in fraudulent acts involving young people and all that. So she became interested in the case, and that's where Efe's name popped up. So when Efe's name popped up, they were talking about this case, and then she goes like, so within these few years, this guy was broke. He said he's working at a local restaurant, and now he has like money and all that. And so the guy was like, oh, from grass to grace, like they just brushed it off. And they also spoke about the constant attack on Efe's family, because he was a household name, like everybody knew him. So they briefly talked about that too. Now, because teacher decided to take revenge, he continued from where he stopped. So at the time that he attacked Efe's kid, he remember that the child was receiving treatment at the hospital. So because they killed the granddaughters, he decided to send men to finish the job, that is to kill the child. The man he sends goes to the hospital, and during that same period, another man has been sent to Obos the boss's wife to kill her. She was taking massage at a certain place. So when a guy went to the hospital, he just sneaked his way in as a cleaner and went to the ward where the child was. So at that time, Nosa was sleeping, like she was she was asleep. So when the man just sneaked his way into the hospital, he almost attacked the child, and that's when Nosa just got up and then attacked the man. Who are you? Blah 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 blah. And she showed that although she's a woman, she can protect her child, and so she fought the man, but the man could have overpowered her. But luckily, the doctor, who happens to be Nosa's friend, during all these hard times, there was this doctor who was attending to the child, and then she kind of built some connection with the doctor. Because the doctor was telling her that everything was going to be fine. So it was that doctor that came into the scene, and that is our own fine gentleman, Daniel Etifong. Sorry if I don't have the name correctly. So Daniel came into the scene and then tried to save mother and child, and that's where he got stabbed in the leg. But anyways, because there was an alarm, screaming and all that, the nurses attention was brought to the matter, so the man just fled. So when he went to I remember that I said that there was another man who had been sent to Oboses the boss's wife. So he also got there, and Oboses the boss's thought that the masseuse was actually massaging her, not knowing it was an attacker. She was enjoying the thing. By the time she realized it was this thing, it was a rubber thing, the attacker used it to, hook her neck and was pulling it And this girl, like his mommy water nails, she was also fighting back. So she overpowered the attacker, and then the attacker, she actually used her nails to pierce his eyes. Wow, that is what you do when your life is in danger, and then you have to use all that you have to save your life. So that was what she did, and then she was able to also get saved at that instant. So Obos the boss, came, and then he was so furious, asking the wife what happened, and then the wife also explained. And then at that time too, Ife had found out that there was another attack on the wife and then the kids. So he went back to Obos the boss. So after these attacks, Ife was still worried. Let's just settle teacher. So it was back and forth, sir. Let's just settle teacher. Obos the boss says no. And now there comes a scene where Ife calls the daughter, because at that time he wants to protect his family, so he doesn't want to stay apart from his family. So he wanted everybody to be close to him. So he calls the daughter, and those kind, of course, where you call someone and then mistakenly nipa na answer, but onim say one answer. So that was what happened. Guys, surprisingly, do you know what happened? Her daughter was doing the thing with Obos the boss, like they were actually having an affair. Can you imagine? Your father's friend. When the guy heard the thing, he just hung up. So when he found out that Obos the boss was with his daughter, he went to the house, because at that time, I told you that initially the woman or the lady or Evie was perching, with the father in the house and all that. But when money came, money was talking. She had her own house. So if he went to the house, waited for the boss to leave, and then goes to the daughter and confront her. He told her to stay away from the man. Not just because he is his friend, but he knows that the man is dangerous, and the man was married. Upon all the men in the world, why a married man? And so after the father warned, her, I thought she was just going to accept it and decide that, okay, daddy, I'm going to stay away. She goes like she's pregnant. I'm like, Asamaba. And that got the man very furious. You are what? Pregnant. He drove straight to the pub where Obos the boss was with the guy. He went there to the pub where Obos the boss was, and then told him that stay away from my daughter. We have that rapport, we have that friendship, we have that business thing going on, but don't involve my daughter. So he was very angry, like he really gave him the warning, and that was when they had their very first fight, because he didn't understand that, that the girl was my daughter. Why would you date my daughter? Why would you do that? So that was when the fight started coming, aside all these teacher cuts and all that. So the man goes home, and he didn't even tell his wife about it too. All these things, he kept it to himself, until one day he goes to the pub again to settle things with Obos the boss, telling him that, let's just settle teacher, because I don't want a situation where I feel very unprotected, because at the end of the day I feel like somebody is chasing me, like I'm always scared. So let's just settle him, because at that time too, Obos the boss had gone back to Evie, Ife's daughter, to tell him that he's not doing the relationship again, like a relationship on Pabium. And then Evie was like, I'm pregnant. I say, so what? Take this money and abort the child. Yeah, that was what he did. And that gave me so much lesson. Like, no matter what, a married man is a married man. He will always go back to his wife. Let me know in the comment section what you think, and if you were, what you would have done in such a situation. So at the pub, they were still talking about the cats and all that, and then was the boss, like, he's not willing to let go of this grudge. He's not willing to pay the man. He's not willing to settle teacher. So he was still having the argument, and then he spots this fine Obroni Koko seated opposite him, and then he sees the girl's like, bro, this girl, she's a nice baby, I need to go there. So he approaches the girl, and the girl was like, do you think or you can buy like every woman with money? It doesn't work like that. So he got furious and was like, who are you? In the end of the day, is it not, sex, you're going to just have sex, settle you, and that's it. And the girl was like, no, she's not like any other girl. Into other man, she gave it to him, and then left the scene. So when she stepped out of the pub, Ife, as a good friend, a good human being, with partially morally upright character, because at that time he's in illegal business, but Charlie, he's a proper guy, small. So he went out and then he went to speak to the lady that, he's sorry that all that happened, and a friend, when he takes alcohol, he can't control himself, and then he ends up saying things. And at that time, I think the girl liked Ife, because comparing his character to a boss, he felt like, bro, this guy is a fine gentleman. And that's where I least expected it, because we have Ife telling the lady that after the apology that, can we go out on a date to settle things? I mean, what my friend did. Like, bro. So that was what happened. So after they both agreed on a date, it was a D-Day of the date, and they went to the pub to have this romantic dinner. And there was the boss with the boys. And when he saw Ife, that guy, regardless of the teacher fights, banter, the daughter affair and all that, he still loved the guy. So when he saw him, he said, brotherly. And then he told him to come and join him on the table. At that time, the girl was like, no, let's not go. This guy, he's not well behaved. And then he said, let's go. So when they joined the table, they were having a nice conversation. Then an argument came up again. Like, Obiana me pen na waka fan and waka fan na ni date. Hey, brotherly, and who say man. The man is a married man, so he really got angry, because at that time he had a problem with the teacher cat, he had a problem with the daughter cat, and now you're accusing him of having an affair, extramarital affair. So he got in a fight. There was an argument, and that argument was heated up because it was the boss, so it was heated up, and then the people at the pub were taking videos, because they were business partners and they were fighting in public. So the video started circulating. The IT guru and the business partner, and then the wife saw it. And when the wife saw it, there was the sparkle was right next to the husband. So when he saw it, he knew that, no, where did we get here? Where did we get here? How did we get here? Because when they were poor, there was no cheating. So how come we have money and now there is a cheating in the scene? So after all this video circulation and all that, the dates kind of, got ruined, and then Sparkle had to go to her house, and then there was Ife going back to their family. So he gets home, and at that time, the wife was at the bedroom, and then he tells him to go to where he's coming from. You cheating husband. And then the man said that, no, I haven't cheated on you. And the guy said, do you think I'm a fool? Girls, why? I saw you. So he showed the video to him with the girl, and then he wanted to explain himself. I think this part, even though the girl got it all wrong, her anger is justifiable, but she should have listened to the husband. Okay, you've seen me with a girl, let me tell you what happened. But the girl, she didn't want to listen. She was so furious, she was so angry. I would have done the same, or even worse. Because I don't understand why you go out with another girl while you are married to me. And so she told her husband to leave. And at that time, the girl was like, when we were broke, then we were having a comfortable life. Now that we have money, why are we fighting? Like, yeah, they were having a fight, and then the girl had to, let the husband get out of the house and all that. And when he left the house, can you imagine? He just went to Sparkle's house. When he now went, I know if you're a guy watching, you say that, you've accused me into to say I'm So that was what happened. And at that time, the wife's mother told her that, why did you make your husband leave? And he was like, no matter how much pained you were seeing him with another lady and all that, you could have settled things out. You shouldn't have let him left the house. And the wife was like, don't talk to me about morality. What? When the man wasn't having money, you were the same person, insulting the man. Now that the man has money, when the man is doing something wrong, you want to defend him. And the mother gave her a slap. So she actually got pissed and went to the room. That was how things started, crumbling. So we have Ife going to Sparkles. They had their first time, they did the thing. When they did the thing, now he has become, addicted to the lady. Now we can call her a side chick because they were cheating. Yeah. And I don't know, but ladies, how do you manage to date someone who is married? Like, because Sparkles knew that if he was married, but he didn't have a problem. And we even have Nosa going to the boss's wife, who is idiot. And when he went there, like, she was venting out her frustration of what was happening with the husband. And then she asked the girl how she manages to stay with the husband despite having so much girls around. And the girl said that, sis, have I ever come to your house to complain to you? Am I complaining in my marriage? Have I told you that I'm not comfortable? And because I was surprised. Hey, you know that your husband is cheating, and because money is coming, she doesn't give a damn. So if Nosa has a problem, she should squash it out. She knows that her husband cheats, but at the end of the day, saying the husband comes back to get the total. So she didn't have a problem, and that was how come her relationship with Idie also started crumbling, because Idie felt like, you're my friend, but you don't have the right to question me about my husband's decision and what I also think about the decision. If my husband is cheating, I have not come to your house to complain, so you have no right to talk about it. So that was how come that part also they have a problem with that. So it looks like now every party is having a problem with another. And so when Ife is now having all the beautiful life with the side chick, and there comes an attack, because teacher there, whether you are fighting or whether you are not fighting, me, I'm attacking, because you people, you dared me. And there was an attack on Nose's mother. And this tells me something. When someone is doing something wrong, and you and the person agree to come together after knowing that, oh, my husband's business and yet legal, when Tony for now money now more enjoy money now, the consequences when it's coming, it will come on everybody. So that was what happened, because the mother-in-law was at the market when a small girl was given a knife to choke her. Is it choke? Stab her. So she actually stabbed the woman, and the woman was rushed to the hospital. And at that time, Nosa was calling Ife, but Ife is having fun with the side chick and refused to pick the call. In the end, the mother died. So when the mother-in-law passed, Nosa decided to take decision where she left the house with the kids, and Effie got to find out about that, went to her and told her that no, she can't take the children away from him. And then Nosa had to plead with Effie. She actually knelt down to tell Effie that please stay away from us, because it looks like everybody around you is in danger. Now I need to protect the kids. And at that time, she was even blaming Effie that because of the illegal dealings that he is in, which she approves of or approved of initially, has become the reason why the family is in danger. So she kind of guilty tripped him, though it was true. So Effie had to leave and go back to the side chick. So now he was living in the side chick's house. Meanwhile, the police or the investigation team was getting close to the monkey case, because they'd done a lot of investigation and they found out some clues. And interestingly, they've also, arrested someone who was once, working under brotherly, or was the boss. So he was in a police station, they were questioning him. And after, everything, he spilled some things out, which made Mo went back to the clues that the guy said, even though remember that I mentioned that when she came back, she was supposed to have a position, but because of the long leave, they gave it to her friend. So her friend told her that she cannot handle the case because she thought that she was mentally unstable, she wasn't good for the job, and so Mo had to use her own power to investigate the case. So after questioning the guy and the guy leaving clues, the guy mentioned a house where they were sent to have the mask on and then let them do all these fraudulent acts. So she went to the house alone, and that was where she saw that it was actually true. There were people in this fraudulent act having the mask on and all that, and was recording. And then boom, what happened? The woman landed in her room. Who brought her there? If someone saw her, why didn't they kill her? We'll find out about that. But now let's get to Efe's situation. So Efe found out that the police had arrested one of the team who happens to work with them, because after working with them for I think about 9 years, you are given the power to go and you also go and practice it, so you can go and then form your company. So he found out that okay, one person has been arrested and all that, and that got him worried that okay, the police cry is even getting closer to the case. So he called brotherly, he called Obos that okay, you know what, the police are even finding out about the case. And there Obos goes like, oh, me, I'm still on teacher's matter, and guess what, I have teacher's father. Can you imagine who does that? You are in Pepe. I don't know why this guy was feeling like, okay, he's the new chick, he's the new boss, so he's not scared. And you've attacked the grandchildren. Look at the kind of attacks that had happened. You've gone ahead to take the father. At that time, if it was like, oh, boss, the boss, I beg you, whatever you're about to do, please halt. Please, I beg you, halt it. I'm coming. By the time he got to the scene, oh, boss, the boss had stripped the man like the shirt off and had beaten him up, rubbed salt on him. Like, he was so brutal with the man. So when Ife came, there was an argument. Why did you take the man? Why are you not acting sensible? We are in a situation already. Why are you doing this? So they had an argument, and one of the guards even said that, the boss, I told you that this guy that you are bringing to the team, he will be a problem to us. So they had an argument, and then, he took the man, that they should give the man to him. So he took the man and then took him to the side chick's house. When they went to the side chick's house, they dressed the man's wound, and the man was like, for this thing that you have done, I am so grateful because you saved my life. Guess what? He took the man the following day to the teacher's house. They actually called the teacher that he had a father with him, and then they brought him to the teacher's house. When they went to the teacher's house, that was the first time, Ife was seeing the teacher. So when he went, teacher said, you've saved my father, but there's still a price to be paid. I have said to myself that I'm going to kill your family, but because you've saved my father, I will spare your family. Only on one condition. You have to kill the boss. So, if you were in Ife's shoes, what would you have done? Would you betray your friend and save your family, or you would give your family out and save your friend? If you were Ife, what would you have done?
Guys, keep watching tea and trailers.
Yes.